Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Wednesday, May 5th, 2021. Welcome to Day 106. A federal judge accused the Justice Department and then Attorney General William Barr of misleading the court about how they decided that Trump should not be charged with obstructing Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. In a 35-page opinion ordering the release of a March 2019 Office of Legal Counsel memo, Judge Amy Berman Jackson called Barr and department lawyers disingenuous for withholding the document, saying that the department tried to obfuscate the purpose of the memo because Barr and his advisors had already decided that they wouldn't charge Trump with a crime before getting the written advice. Judge Jackson wrote, "The review of the document reveals that the Attorney General was not then engaged in making a decision about whether the president should be charged with obstruction of justice." She added, "The fact that he would not be prosecuted was a given." Barr and Justice Department attorneys had argued that the memo was part of the department's decision-making process that helped Barr decide not to prosecute Trump for obstruction of justice. Jackson said that because Barr had already decided against charging Trump before he got the written advice, the memo could be made public. Meanwhile, a federal judge struck down the national eviction moratorium, ruling that the CDC exceeded its authority and that the rule should be vacated. The moratorium was due to expire at the end of January, but Biden extended it first until April and later through June. Federal Judge Dabney Friedrich noted that while Congress had ratified earlier extensions of the moratorium order aimed at helping the victims of the pandemic hold on to their homes, it had not done so for the latest expansion, potentially leaving millions of Americans at risk of losing their homes. Back in D.C., the Biden administration says it supports waiving intellectual property protections for COVID-19 vaccines. U.S. Trade Representative Katherine Tai wrote in a statement, "This is a global health crisis, and the extraordinary circumstances of the COVID-19 pandemic call for extraordinary measures." She added, "The administration believes strongly in intellectual property protections, but in service of ending this pandemic, supports the waiver of those protections for COVID-19 vaccines." Pharmaceutical companies, however, have opposed the move, saying that it won't solve supply production problems in the short term, and until now, the U.S., other wealthy nations, and the European Union have opposed the waiver, saying IP protections creates incentive to innovate. Moving on, ICE deportations fell to the lowest monthly level on record. In April, ICE deported 2,962 immigrants, a 20% decline from March. Illegal border crossings, however, remain at a 20-year high. And finally, Trump's Facebook account will remain suspended for the time being. The company-funded tribunal of outside experts ruled that it was not appropriate to indefinitely suspend Trump, saying that within 6 months of this decision, Facebook must re-examine the arbitrary penalty it imposed on January 7th and decide the appropriate penalty. In a statement, Trump called the decision a total disgrace and an embarrassment to our country. These corrupt social media companies must pay a political price. Trump also began fundraising off of the Facebook announcement, texting supporters with a link to donate to his fundraising committee. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.